what we're going to talk about now is we're going to get a little bit more out of, we're going out of listening, and we are going into writing speeches. We're going to go over writing introductions for our speeches. All right, so a few things to get us started. We're talking about speech writing. So number one, what is the purpose of your speech? And there's 4 things that I want you to think about, and they are called PALS, P-A-L-S. Purpose. Are you writing to explain, to argue, or to persuade? Right? Those are the 3 things that we're going to look at in this course. The audience. Who are you delivering the speech to? How much knowledge do you have or do they have about your topic? How are you going to lay out your speech? And formal style, standard English, how are you going to be speaking? Okay, so that's the first thing to think about. So I want everyone to take a minute to write down PALS. Purpose, audience, layout, and style. This is going to be a question that if I test you, will definitely come up. All right, once you guys have written down PALS with the corresponding word, we will move on to some literary devices. So repetition. There's lots of different features to a speech. We're going to talk about them a little bit, and they're called literary devices. So repetition is something that you should write down right now as a feature of a speech. So repetition is a literary device that involves intentionally using a word or phrase for effect. So on purpose, intentionally, for effect, 2 or more times in a speech or written work. For repetition to be noticeable, the words or phrases should be repeated within close proximity of each other. So if I say Rachel at the beginning of my speech, and then I say Rachel at the end of my speech, and my speech was 30 minutes long, that's not repetition. But if my speech is 30 minutes long, and in the first 5 minutes, I say work, 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 or in the first 30 seconds, I say work, 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 that's repetition. So it's repeating the same words in a literary work or poetry or prose. They're actually going to bring some clarity to an idea, and it makes it more memorable for the reader. Okay? So there's a lot of common phrases that we can think about for repetition. Have you ever heard of the phrase, get ready, get set, go? That would be considered repetition, that getting ready, that getting set. Have you ever heard the phrase, sorry, not sorry? Right? Have you ever heard the phrase, over and over? Or hour to hour, or it is what it is? Those are all examples of repetition. If you've ever seen the movie Back to the Future, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Or Midnight Cowboy, hey, I'm walking here, I'm walking here. These are all examples. Have you ever seen the movie Karate Kid? Wax on, wax off. That is an example of repetition. If we think of some common examples, some famous examples, we can think of the English Book of Common Prayer, says ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If we think about Dr. Seuss, think and wonder, wonder and think, we can think about Hamlet, words, 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 right? If we think of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. All good examples of repetition. Okay, so here are some other things that we can think about that we're going to go over now. So